Goal is to give us about 20 to 30 minutes of half and half partner independent work to start studying for your test. There's 2 examples of kind of a new version of a word problem you'll get. But for the most part, you will have a lot of review time to help practice for tomorrow. Check your swag, make sure you're holding your pencil and ready to roll. For 2 examples, the 3 steps we want to focus on today have the same first step. We're always going to identify a variable. If you see a word problem show up on a test, I should automatically see x equals something. Give me a label for that variable. That is the first thing you're underlining and looking for. What am I actually searching? Chico off task 2, Hunter off task 1. Second, do any of the numbers match? So this type of problem isn't going to have a number that is just happening once, but it will give you information that matches. Can you multiply any of the matched numbers? That's going to be your first step when we get to this example. Final step, you're going to look for the number that is missing information that's next to the variable. That's going to be the number that goes to the variable. Those 3 steps will get us an equation in the end that we can solve. Example 1, can you read it for me, please, Kiana?
Cindy brought 4 boxes of cereal and 2 gallons of milk for a total cost of $20. Each box of cereal cost $3. Enter the cost in dollars of a gallon of milk.
First step, what am I looking for? Talk to your partner, 15 seconds, give me a variable. Go.
2.
I'll keep it up there for another 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a variable that you came up with, Heather. What am I looking for?
The cost.
Good. Awesome. So I don't know the cost. I'm looking for the cost specifically of what, Heather?
Of the cereal?
Read the second line again. Enter the cost in dollars of a gallon of milk. If you're ever kind of lost on what you're looking for, it's almost always this last sentence in your problem. So I'm going to put a variable, let's say C. You could also use G for gallon. You could use M for milk. We'll just go C equals the cost of a gallon. Okay, first step is done. Second step, do any of the numbers match with the information they give us? I'm going to read it one more time. Think through the last 3 numbers we have. Cindy bought 4 boxes of cereal and 2 gallons of milk for a cost of $20. Each box of cereal costs $3. I forgot a step in here. Let's get the total by the equal sign first. Put equals 20. That's going to be the next step right in here. In between 1 and 2, write total. Okay, so this is our $20. That's the total cost. Always start with that as well. Erin.
Oh, I just found out the numbers that match.
What are the 2 numbers that match out of 4 cereal, 2 gallons of milk, and $3 for cereal?
So the 4 boxes of cereal can be multiplied by the cost of 3 for each.
Since they give you 4 boxes of cereal and they give you $3 for each box, you just found a match. Since this is talking about cereal and this is talking about cereal, you're going to multiply those 2 numbers together. Those match, so we can do 4 times 3. Write that next to the equal sign. I'm going to move it over like that. Since those match, this is talking about cereal, this is talking about cereal, this is the cost per box, I can come up with a solid whole number. 4 times 3 is 12. Leave that for later. Final step. What is the only thing that is missing information at this point? What's the number that's attached to my variable? Ty.
2.
I don't know the cost for 2 gallons of milk. That's my variable. I'm going to label that as 2C. Once you have this equation written like that, you're almost ready to solve it. 2 times C is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that cost of a single gallon. You're given 4 boxes that cost $3 each for cereal. I multiplied those together. And let's solve it. Peyton, what would I do first to simplify this equation? Is there a way that I can clean up the 4 and the 3? So I'm not going to move it yet. Since it's next to parentheses, I want to simplify as much as possible. What does a number mean when it's next to parentheses? Do you remember? So let's try to multiply 4 times 3, Peyton. What would that be? What's 4 times 3? Good. You just simplified that first step. Now we're ready to kick some kids out of the house. Raylan, who gets kicked out first?
12.
Okay. Jonah, who's left over on the inside of the house?
2C.
Equals on the right. Jonah, what's left over on the right side?
8.
And give me the answer, Jonah.
4, C equals 4.
You got it. We now know that the cost of 1 gallon of milk would be $4, and that is the thing that you were looking for. Again, if you're kind of intuitively thinking of this when you read it first and you got $4 and you wrote $4 here and circled it, that's fine to start out mentally, but I need to see an equation for credit. On your test in the future as well, in the CASP test, they'll say enter an equation and solve for it. If you just give them the solution, they'll give you probably less than half the points. Final example. Reagan, read it for me, please.
4 friends each bought matching necklaces and 2 pairs of earrings. The necklaces were priced at $15. If the total bill for all 4 friends was $128, what was the price of 1 pair of earrings?
Give me a variable you can use for finding missing info. You have 15 seconds. Talk to your partner and write it. Go. What is the thing I'm looking for here? So write it here. Write the answer here, and you just see an equation. So erase that, make it small there, and you'll just see the full equation.
There's a
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me a variable that you want to use, Rafe. What am I looking for?
I used X.
Okay. What does X represent?
The earring cost.
The earring of one, the cost of 1 earring. Okay. Write that on your paper. If you have a different variable, it's fine. Put your desk down. Down. Thank you. Let's make it X. What number do I use for the total for this one, Riley?
128.
Yeah. 128 is your total. Put that next to the equal sign. Now I start to match numbers. Braden, pause on that. Raise your hand if you have a comment. I love the partner work, but you're going to save it for about 2 minutes from now. Out of 4 friends, the necklace is priced at $15. Do I know how much all of the necklaces cost if we know 4 friends bought necklaces for $15? If the friends bought matching necklaces, how many necklaces total were purchased? Reagan.
There was 4 necklaces.
4 necklaces. Go ahead and match those together. 4 times the necklace cost of $15. Since we know each of them bought $15 necklaces, you can multiply it. 4 times 15. We also know the last piece of info. They bought 2 pairs of earrings. Do I know the price of 1 earring? No. So we're going to put the 2 next to what, Rafe?
Next to the variable.
Yeah.
How do you get
2 is x. It says 2 pairs right here.
Oh, compare. I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
so
Wait.
these are your numbers, 2, 128, and 4.
Mr. McAtee,
Yeah.
it said each. They each bought it, so that's
4 friends each bought matched necklaces and 2 pairs of earrings. 4 friends bought 2 pairs. Holy moly, this is trickier than I thought. 4 friends each bought matching necklaces and they bought 2 pairs. Okay, this wasn't what I wanted to do, but sure. Good catch. I'll mark it as a blunder, Cooper. Change the 2 to an 8. You should not have something that tricky likely on the test, but thanks for catching it. 8x
Yeah,
is your
I
total.
figured out that it was 8.
Yeah, that's tricky.
No, you gotta do the thing.
Wait, no, it is
You have
2.
to.
It
See,
is-
look, you have to add 1 to the 4.
Look, it's your job at lunch. You keep forgetting. Okay, voice is off. Let's finish this equation. Georgia, what do I do first to simplify this guy?
You would multiply the 4 and 15.
What do you get? Bless you.
I got 60.
Agree with that, Aaron? Okay. Aaron, give me the next step. Who do I kick out of the house?
First, you have to subtract the 60.
128 minus 60 should be on your paper. Do some scratch work on the side if you did not do the scratch work for that first step. Go ahead and jot this one down. Oh yeah. That's fine. Sometimes it's easier just to scratch it out. 128 minus 60 is silent hands. Anthony, you got that?
Oh, yeah, 60.
2 minus 6 doesn't work. Cross it out. 68 would work. 8x equals 68. Anthony, finish it off.
Well, if you divide that, like 8 divided by 68 is 8, but 8 times 8 is 64. So,
Ooh.
that would work.
Okay, let's do some decimal
What
division.
did we do?
Let's do this step by step. If you don't have it on your paper, write it now, Braden. 68 divided by 8 needs a decimal. 8 times 8 is 64. Bring up the decimal. Cat jumps on the house. Bring down the 0. 40 divided by 8 would be what, Anthony?
5.
8.5 is your answer, but the price as 8.5 looks kind of funky. If you go to the store and they say, hey, that pair of earrings costs $8.5, you'd probably look at them a little confused. How could I rewrite 8.5 that looks like money? It's a little bit tricky. Ty?
$8.50.
Yeah. If you thought it was $8.05, that would look like 8.05. So it's not that. It would be $8.50. Always translate money into 2 digits past the decimal. Reagan.
When you did the division, that does not look like a 5.
Ooh, funny.
Well, blender.
Nah, it's just sloppy. Looked like an S. It looked like it looked like a snake with like a head or something. Yeah, Aaron.
Why did we change it to 8x instead of 2x?
Because 4 friends each bought 2 earrings. It wasn't 2 total. 4 friends picked out 2 each. So Cooper caught it and a few others in row 1, where it's like, that's actually sneaky. A problem like this probably won't be on the test. I'm not going to put a 4 and a 2 separated. It would just say they bought a total of 8 earrings. Yeah. Sneaky, sneaky problem. Before you do the you try, you're going to read it together. Baylor, read it out loud.
Mr. McAtee bought 4 tickets to the movies and 3 boxes of popcorn. Each ticket cost $10. Enter the cost in dollars of 1 box of popcorn if he spent a total of $52.
Take 2 minutes to do this on your own. If you are stuck, look at the board. I'm going to be cold calling, but you should try this first solo if you can. This stuff is tricky. The best way you're going to improve is just to get multiple practices and at-bats with it. Raylan, pencil up. Let's do it. No, 2 minutes. I'm looking for a variable. X is 1 box of popcorn, so I'm going to do the cost. Yeah.
Can I soften my process? Is that
Yeah. If you're working solo and you're not looking at the board, if I call on you, just glance up at the board quickly. Sabrina, what's the total amount that I spent? Okay, go ahead. What two numbers can I multiply that kind of match for this one? Baylor?
The 4 tickets,
And
and each ticket costs $10.
yeah, so the 4 and the 10, those match
That'd be
because it's 4 times 10.
Oh yeah.
And then what would be next to the variable, Cooper?
a 3?
Yeah, since I don't know the cost of a popcorn yet, that's what I'm looking for. Good. You should have an equation that looks kind of like that. Solve it in 30. Because they're each related. $10. That's on you.
Mr. McAfee, can I sharpen my pencil? The bathroom is
Oh, very much. Okay.
he goes in 12. 4 times.
I played in my sweatshirt. Mr. McAfee, my phone is
1 minute after we get the answer written. Voices off, 3, 2, 1. Hunter, I need the equation written as well as the answer. Giving the answer first, Hunter, what'd you get for this one? 4. Okay, let's work backwards. 3x plus 40 equals 52. Write that on your paper. And Heather, what's my first step?
Do the inverse with the 40, so that would be subtracting on both sides.
Nice, thanks for that keyword of inverse as opposite. And divide by 3. X would equal 4. Flip to problem 1 on the bronze. You're going to notice I start